Today we are facing a war on our freedom as Muslims to practice our deen. Last month, the French Senate approved a bill legalizing the persecution of Muslims in France. Hijab is banned. Other European countries poised to follow the French lead and outlaw the practice of Islam. Just last week, the first German state passed its own anti-hijab laws, and 5 other states are following suit. To illustrate the perception of Muslims in France, I will relate an incident that was reported by a BBC correspondent in Paris. She was sitting in a cafe in Paris with a French friend, Antoine, when 2 homosexual men in tight t-shirts walked past hand in hand, occasionally stopping to kiss one another. "That's disgusting," exclaimed Antoine, a middle-aged, rather conventional French businessman. "What, the 2 men?" she asked. No, not them. Behind them, the 2 women." She looked, but she couldn't see anything amiss. All she saw were 2 young women walking past, chatting to one another. She turned to Antoine, mystified. "The veils!" he exclaimed. "Veils?" she asked. "Yes, those headscarves," he said, "that shouldn't be allowed in France." Let's look at a few examples. A Muslim woman in France can no longer get married without first removing her hijab. Religious marriages are not recognized, and she is not permitted to enter the city hall for a civil wedding wearing hijab. Interestingly, Christian brides are permitted to wear their wedding veils without hindrance. The ban only applies to Muslims. A French bank turned away a customer at one of its Paris branches because she was wearing hijab. Their excuse for the ban was that it was to deter robbers. Anti-Muslim signs reminiscent of the no black signs of previous shameful times have begun to appear in France. A French doctor has put up a sign in his surgery waiting room, which reads, "I refuse to treat veiled women." When questioned, the doctor replied, "Living in France necessitates that women should not wear hijab." In November, France's justice minister threw out a juror from the courtroom because she wore hijab. Although hijab and Islam had no relevance to the case being tried, his excuse was that he wanted to ensure a fair trial. Even in sports there is discrimination. A 10-year-old Muslim girl from an English judo team was barred from competing in a French tournament because she wore hijab.